Ciao, welcome to Beatspot. I'm Marco, and in this video I want to talk about Plutonium and Plutonium Extra, which are two plugins that work on a psychoacoustic level. So let's dive into it. So we have two interfaces. This is the Plutonium Extra interface, and we have these sections. So up the head, throat, heart, stomach, lower belly, and tailbone. And basically, both Plutonium Extra and Plutonium work on a vertical axis, and they kind of work on the psychoacoustic level, and they try to kind of change how you feel the mix. And the Plutonium instead is this one. So we have different kind of feels. We have aggressive, sensual, passionate, live, talkative, hypnotic, and protective. And we also have all these bands which kind of show us what part of our body are kind of working on. So we have all these, and for both plugins we have different modes. So we can choose mastering, mix, bass, mix, track, vocals, drums, 808, and we also have other kind of feeling, kind of goals. So we can humanize, heat up 2, cool down, deeper, pink noise, and white noise. So let's see how it sounds. So this is very subtle effect, so pay attention. I will A and B multiple times so you have a kind of chance to catch it. So now I have everything mapped. I have 3 instances of Plutonium Extra and Plutonium across the whole mix, and as soon as I turn it on, we have this automation line going on, otherwise it goes off. So let's listen to it. So I've set all these 3 plugins so they add some more impact. In the low end, I went for the deeper lower belly, deeper mastering, and for the bass, I went for drums 808 heat up, and for the drums, I used drums 808 deeper. So that's the difference. Now, this is just adding noise, crackle. I can feel it. And let's listen to the difference. So here I have the Plutonium Extra on master bass and a parallel chain with the inverted polarity. So let's listen to the difference. So we can't hear it, and that's because it's at minus 60 dB, but we can just increase the volume and see what it's adding. So this is what's being added at very low level. To me, it makes a tiny difference. I like it personally, but we have to be kind of honest on evaluating these plugins. So it does make something. I think it's comparable to like console emulations. So like all those plugins that you put on whatever channel of your track, and they help making non-linear summing. So that's the kind of contribution that this plugin does on the whole mix. And I think that having the Plutonium and Plutonium Extra makes it quite confusing. I would have rather a single plugin with multiple modes, multiple panels, and use the same one, or we can use like Plutonium Extra with some sort of linking capabilities to the rest of the Plutonium across the whole mix, so they talk with each other and it will like something meaningful. So we have a reason to have 2 separate plugins instead of just one that can be thrown on whatever channel across the mix. I like this kind of psychoacoustic stuff because I mean, it works. It's something really subtle. You don't really notice it unless you are A-Bing, but it makes a nice difference. I also like the feel approach, so the talkative, the aggressive, sensual, but I also like the vertical scheme they chose, so kind of lower bottom, tailbone, head, throat, really makes a difference, especially on how the low end, the low mid range is perceived, because we perceive different frequencies with our bodies in different ways. So the sub is more in the belly, and the bass, the upper bass is more in the chest, and that's it. Those are basically kind of sound waves that hit our body, and our bones, our flesh, whatever, reacts to it, and that contributes on how we perceive sound. However, this plugin is adding like very last 5% to a mix. So I think this plugin is not for beginners, not even for intermediates, it's for pros. It's for experienced people who can feel the difference. It's not placebo, but it's very, very subtle. So if your ear isn't trained enough, it's just doing anything for you. You can't see the value in it. However, I like the plugin. I don't think it's something you can replicate on your own with stock plugins or whatever, because it looks like some weird and complex algorithms are going on within these plugins. I think this is something I will use on every track, like at very last step. So I have my mix ready. I think it's great. I want to just test how these things sound, and I tried. It's kind of unpredictable, but I mean, it's there. I can use it, I can test it, and if it does add something that I like, I can keep it. If it doesn't, I just don't use it, and I go on with the mix I came up with. So this is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.